Adcock Ingram is South Africa's second largest drug maker and is currently 34.6% held by the Bidvest group. A bid for the minorities is in at 52 Rand. That is news hot off the press. It has a market cap 9.2 billion Rand, PE of 0 and a dividend yield of 1.64%. Quick comment on Adcock Ingram before we go further with the discussion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that PE of 0 is because they're making a bit of a loss. They're filtering in a lot of impairments, into the balance sheets, and I think we're going to start seeing growth coming through as the South African consumer picks up, and we have seen the South African consumer pick up throughout the retail numbers we've seen at the beginning of this year.
Slow growth from Adcock Ingram, as Byron is setting out.
Yeah, I think if you look in the sort of medium term, it's been a major disappointment for the shareholders because Aspen proved what the potential was from a South African base. I guess where there's potential excitement, as Byron mentioned, it's trading, I think, north of 53 Rand now, the share price, is, I guess, possibly with the backing of Bidvest and their track record of expanding into international markets, that now possibly they can take advantage of that as Adcock and expand and realize some more potential. They have done a little bit in Africa, I think a little bit in Australia, but it's been fairly small, not really moving the needle as of yet. But I think the potential is there to take that base and expand offshore now.
Would you like to see Joffe and his team taking the whole thing under their wing?
Look, yeah, I mean, he clearly was sort of very bullish about the story at some point when the initial bid was at 70 Rand a share. I think by his own words that was a mistake, and he sort of had to regroup. I think he's starting to see that by stealth, really. They've put in Kevin Wakeford as the CEO. He's really a diehard Bidvest man. He's got good consumer experience.
But is he a farmer man? Isn't that the key here?
No, I don't think you necessarily need to. I think a lot of it is consumer driven. There is farm. I think there's enough skills within the group to handle that. I think you need someone with the right business mindset, understanding what's driving the consumer, and I guess, yes, the different drugs and where the growth is going to be. But I think they've got enough skills to be able to do that.
Right up to the liquidation of our portfolio, we had a position in Adcock Ingram. It really neither here nor there. I think we were slightly up in terms of the money that we made on that position over the period. Is it something that we're going to consider seriously again?
Well, we took the position, and then the share price was slowly creeping downwards, and then that announcement came that they were looking to buy out the rest of the business for 52 Rand. So obviously the share price popped and we're back to all square. I think that 52 Rand will be quite a nice floor for the share price at this stage, which is always nice if you're coming in for a little bit of speculation. And I agree with Rowan 100%. I think we need a good operator to turn this business around. Obviously Joffe is renowned for that. He's now chairman of the board. And I think, we like the sector. There's some great consumer brands there. The OTC over-the-counter stuff is extremely profitable, the Microdills and so on, and great brands within the South African context. They've got a big plant in India, so they have which supplies the South African market. So they have started looking, they have diversified, but I'd imagine they'll be looking to grow further throughout sub-Saharan Africa and expanding on those brands.
I sat down with Brian Joffe for half an hour last week on Captains, and by his own admission, he is spending a lot of time in that Adcock Ingram boardroom. I got the sense that this is personal for him and that he's going to make it work.
Yeah, well, I think if you look at the battle that went ahead with CFR, it did get somewhat personal in terms
with
of
the Weinsteins.
Yes, that's right. So I think he has got something at stake. I don't think he's used to making sort of errors of judgment, so to speak. I guess there's still more to play out. And actually, he at the results this morning, my understanding was they only expect to get a further 10% from the offer. So it's not an expectation at 52 Rand to take the entire business out. I guess with the mopping up some of the BE stake, they get potentially into a majority type position. They have a lot more control, and I think then, yes, they can really move the needle and make some changes, which they're already starting to do, and look to realize the potential of the investment.
Would you take the offer, or do you hold Adcock at the moment?
Don't at the moment. Look, I think it's quite a clever play. You're getting 52 Rand as a floor, as Byron said. You're getting the management skills of Bidvest, and that's a proven track record, and the potential then for some value realization. And you're seeing quite a lot of activity, 52, 53 Rand. I think a lot of people are having that mindset at the moment.
Byron, hot or not on that note on Adcock?
Well, obviously there's a lot of reputation at stake for the Bidvest team. You know, this is obviously speculation, but I think there might be quite a few mind games going around. You know, they've written a lot of assets down and turning the business around, and maybe making, you know, those results coming through look a little worse than what it really is, in order to influence the share price, and then, you know, keep it low, and then, you know, carry on pushing the PIC to sell their stake and eventually buy the whole business. So I think there definitely is a lot of upside, and with that floor of 52 Rand, you know, there's not a lot of downside risk. So I'd call it hot.
Hot or not?
Yeah, hot as well.